Okay, welcome to the Blogging Bunch Hangout. We have our whole bunch today. And none of us remembered to put our name tags on here.
Oh, we're so busy talking.
We were chatting.
Mine works anymore.
I'm Sarah, and I blog at, I don't know where I blog these days, a couple of different places. I'm wandering around these days. But, Carrie?
I'm Carrie, and I blog at carrieall.com, and very soon, ilovetexas.net. There you go.
There you go.
And the blogging bunch, at some point, I do have a post that's like 90% written for you in there.
That was like the beginning of March?
February,
beginning of February.
Well, and I'm Elizabeth, and I blog at rockabyeparents.com when I have time. But yeah, it's picking up.
And you can tell which two live in Texas and which one does not.
Yes. Short sleeves today.
Short sleeves and 2 sweatshirts and a turtleneck.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, look.
You were still wearing turtlenecks in June when we started these.
It was really cold last year. And my house likes to hold on to cold, which I don't like.
All right, so we are going to go into BoardBooster a little bit more. Back in January, I talked with Jill from Blog Chicka Blog, and she was working on using BoardBooster, which is a Pinterest scheduling tool, and she introduced it to me, but I really hadn't had time to kind of get into it, and I know Carrie has signed up for it also and not had time to get into it, and so I finally was like, okay, I'm going to get into it and see what I can do with it, and it's been a week or two, and I had been using Viral Tag, which no longer works. I don't recommend that one anymore. And I even went back and tried it again, and it still didn't. It stopped working. And so when was that? In September, I went from getting like 125, 150 followers a day to like 1. And was kind of maintaining that like 1 to 5 here for a while. And so last week when I signed up for BoardBooster and started doing using some of their things, I went up to it started climbing. It was like, oh, I got 10 today, and oh, I got 20 today, and oh, I got 30 today, and 40. And so I think I've gained about 150 in the last week, which I was getting maybe like 250 a month for the last couple of months, 250 to 300 a month, and I got 150 in a week. So I am thinking that BoardBooster might be helping, although I think that some were spam because it looked like the numbers went down this morning when I looked, but whatever. I need to start writing them down.
Yeah,
so I thought I would show everybody what I was doing in BoardBooster and take a look at how to set things up, because it's just intimidating. It's a new software. There's a learning curve. I got to make time to figure it out, and that's just it's not that difficult. So let me screen share here, and we'll go in share. Yes, I want everyone to see it. I don't know why it asked that now. Okay, BoardBooster looks like this, and you have a different scheduler, doctor, mover, groups, campaigns, looping, report, account billing. The billing goes by number of pins that you pin a month. Let's see. We don't want to look at that. So it's right. I have the 1,000 pins a month account right now, and that's $10 a month. So I guess 500 would be $5 a month. So it's not that expensive. I was paying like $30 a month for Viral Tag. Okay, there's an echo now.
Echo.
Okay, that was a fake echo. Elizabeth, do you have headphones?
Somewhere.
I don't hear an echo here.
Yeah, I hear an echo. Anyway, so the scheduler and looping are what I'm using right now. Those are the only two that I have set up so far. And so scheduler, when you create a board or when you sign up a board, it creates a secret board. Let's see, I want to show you. It creates a secret board of that board. So you can see that I have two secret boards right here. One more.
And it shows you because it puts that little dash in front of where it says Mother's Day. That little dash is how you know that's your secret BoardBooster board.
That's how you know, yeah, when you're pinning. But it's in the secret area right now. I'm showing. I don't know why there's not a blogging one, but that's what I'm confused about. Sorry. So I've got quick dinners, and then what I do when I go through and pin is I'll go through and I'll search quick and easy dinner recipes, and I find something that looks good. See, this one's got 41,000 pins, so yeah, I definitely want that one. So I'm going to hit pin it. Oh, look, I've already done it. But then I would just pin it. Here's my secret board. So when you pull down, it shows that's the secret board, and you just click pin it. I'm not going to pin it again since I probably just did it. Okay, and so I can go click pin it. Nope. Why is it showing me? This is one of my pet peeves with Pinterest. They show you things you've already pinned before. Cheesy tater tot casserole. All right, pin it. And then it goes on to my easy dinner recipe board. And then I have this board set to get 5 pins during the week. It will pin. It'll pin 3 pins on Saturday and 3 pins on Sunday. And I can go through right here, click on the gear, and this will tell me I have it set for multiple pins per day. You can also set it for 1 pin per day. You can do basic, right? Just 5 pins a day, spread it between these times, or you can do an advanced setting, 5 pins per day. I can also go to advanced settings there, and you can tell it what days of the week to do it. I could change this, right? Really, the best times on Pinterest are between like 2 and 4 and like 7 to 10 p.m. So if I want to change this to really 2 to 8 p.m. or maybe 2 to 10 p.m., switch it so that it's not in the mornings. And the source board, you can see it's pulling from that secret board, but I can change that. Also, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but remove it from the source board so it takes it off of the board, my secret board. And then I just save my settings. And you can see here everything that's been pinned, that I've pinned, although it's showing that a lot of these aren't getting repins right now, so I need to think about what I'm pinning. This one has 3, 2. So my scheduler, I only have 3 boards. Since I have 1,000 pins a month, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going over that account, so I determined that I could schedule 32 pins a day and not go over my 1,000. So I have it set, these 3 boards are 11 total pins per day. And then this information right here, it tells me that this quick and easy dinner recipes gets, the average is 1.5 repins per pin, and there are 2,200 followers on that board. Sorry, 2,200 followers on that board. While on my Mother's Day, and right once Mother's Day is over, I'll take this off and probably put Father's Day on. But that gets an average of a 1.4 repins, and there are 2,244 followers. And then the blogging one doesn't seem to be doing well, but I think that's probably because there aren't any pins. Oh, you know what? This was what I was going to show you. So for the blogging one, I took out the secret board. That's what I did. I've got it set to 3 pins a day, but I set it to looping it. Now, looping is a whole nother category here, but because that blogging board is a group board where Carrie and Elizabeth can pin to it also, see how there's a little group up in the corner where there's not on these other boards, because those are just my personal boards. This one is a group board, so I can't set it to looping where it just pulls the pins from the bottom and it puts it back at the top. It wouldn't do that for the looping. See, these are all personal boards. So I tricked it and did it the scheduler. And I said I changed the source board from the secret board to the board itself. So now it loops because it pulls pins from the bottom and puts them at the top. But then I had to switch it to keep it on source board so that it didn't remove any of the pins from the bottom. Because what if a pin on the bottom has 14 repins or something? I don't want to remove that one. I want to keep pins on there that have repins so that Pinterest thinks that my boards are relevant because they're getting repinned. And then when all pins are published, I want it to start over. I just want it to keep going and going and looping and pulling the pins from the bottom and putting them at the top. Because...
Did you set that up in looping, or did you set that up in the scheduler?
No, that's what I was just saying. I had to set it up in scheduler because it's a group board.
Can you do that with your Mother's Day gift ideas board, or do you need to so anything that's not a group board, you need to set up to looping under the looping category?
I would set it up under looping. Yes. Okay. This one was different, but I could set it to looping, right? I set it to looping, but I couldn't do it because it was a group board.
Gotcha.
And looping is pulling from the bottom pins, the older pins, and just putting it at the top. So it just continually loops the pins that you already have on the board and pulls them to the top. Whereas scheduler allows you to create the secret board. So I know, like, Elizabeth used to tease me and say, I know what you're going to write about because you just pinned 45 things about blue chalkboard crafts, right? Because it would show up in your feed. Now that the feed isn't as, it still shows up, but
spreads it out a little bit.
It spreads it out a little bit. You get about 50% of your feed and then 50% of picked for you. But this way I can go through and pin a whole bunch of things to my quick and easy dinner recipes to my secret board, and then it will just spread those out and pin 5. I have it set at 5 a day. So whatever you set it at, it'll pin 5 a day for me. And then once it hits that 5 for day 1, it'll go to day 2 and start over with the next 5 in the secret board, so that not all 25 of the ones I pinned today are there.
And so far, my favorite thing with BoardBooster, because I use it for scheduling, because I haven't started looping it, but I probably will after I watch this today, after we do this. But I use it for scheduling. So my favorite thing about it is if I have so I have a lot of food boards. So if I'm on Pinterest and I see like a really fantastic food pin that was relevant for 5 of my boards, I can schedule it to pin on all 5 of those boards, and it won't just be 5 pins at one time. It won't be the same recipe. It'll just break it up during the day to the different boards. And I did that yesterday with a pin for something on my site, and I was able to, after they published out, I was able to see which boards people are repinning it from, and it's just, that's what I like about it, is being able to pin something to a bunch of different places at once, but not at once.
Right, and you don't have to be, you can spend your, like we say, spend 15 minutes a day on Pinterest twice a day, right? You want to spend time in the morning and spend time in the afternoon. Well, that's 30 minutes a day. You can do 30 minutes, you can do an hour on Sunday and pin all these things to these different boards, and then only have to spend 10 minutes a day coming back. And like, I like to do some authentic pinning also at the same time. I don't want Pinterest to just see that I'm pinning from BoardBooster. I want to do it authentically also. But I can do that in 5 minutes. On my phone, I just pin things. And I don't have to spend a ton of time. Or when I'm going through and participating in pinning groups, things like that. I just do those by hand. Okay, so they also have this doctor, which I haven't done because I would have to pay $123, but you can also just go through and it will test the pins that you pin to check for, it says identify 9 common problems like broken links, content duplication. So if you have multiple pins on your board, which you probably do, as long as they're not within the same scroll, right? It's okay to have multiple pins on your board. But it can test to make sure that they're going the right way. You want to make sure that you have real pins, not ones that somebody's taken, just use the picture and then put their own spam on. So you want to, that's what this would help you with. This would help you figure out, and it's $1, or I'm sorry, it's 1 penny. Pin Doctor charges a penny a pin. So you hire the pin doctor, and you can also just pick the boards, and I could pick our blogging board, and it would go through 417 pins and cost me $4 to check that board. So that's one of their things. Mover, try Pin Mover for free. The first order is free. But you can move pins on Pinterest for free, so I usually just move. If I'm going to move pins, then I move them on Pinterest, right? Parenting board, you can move pins.
And you can copy them too, which is really nice.
Yeah. Click them and send them to a different board, right? So I'll move pins from Pinterest. Groups. If you manage any group boards or things like that, I tend to I have the group board with Carrie and Elizabeth, but I tend to stay out of group boards. People are saying that they work for them. People are saying that they don't work for them. With all the changes that Pinterest has been doing, it's hard to really know. So if they work for you, great. If not, it's just one more thing for me to keep track of. Campaigns, I haven't done that one yet. Looping, this is the one that I'm really getting a lot out of right now. So I have 4 boards hooked up to looping right now, and I have Crockpot Ideas. There are 2,300 followers, but look at this. The average pin has 37.9 repins. That's awesome. Gluten-free, I have that set at 3 a day, 7.5 repins, 2,700 followers. Organization Ideas, 19.5, with 3,600 followers. This one is really growing. Really growing a lot faster than any of the others too. And then I have my own blog board, so that I'm making sure that I'm pinning my own content each day, which can sometimes be hard for me to remember. And I think I have this set, it says 4, but I have it set to 10 a day. So I have 4 in the morning, 7 to 10 in that early time, and then 6 in the evening that I'm repinning, chronological from oldest to newest, and then run deduplication. So that means that after 7 days, which I may lower that actually, after 5 days, it will go through the board, and if my first pin had more repins, then it will delete the second pin. So it'll go through and kind of delete and clean up your boards for you, which is awesome. And then you can also tell it, hey, keep a duplicate pin. If it has 12 repins or 5 repins even, you can say keep it if it's got that many repins, or 50. It'll start at 50, but personally, if they have any repins, I'm happy. And then protection for pins with comments disabled. So you can say if the pin has comments, keep duplicate pins with 2 or more comments. Because you don't want to. Pinterest isn't it is a social media network, so you should be commenting and talking to people, but it doesn't happen a lot. Okay, so done. This one I really like because it really is helping me get my content out there. I need to do a better job and go through and make sure that my pins on that board have good pictures and are all of my pins are there, because I know that board doesn't have all of my content on it. I have like 650 posts on this site, and I think it's got like 40 of mine on there. So that's a good way, though, to really keep your content in front of people. And it puts old content, you know, pulls older content up to the top right now. Oh, well, see, I've got Valentine's Day ones, but it's pulling some of this stuff that wouldn't have been seen back up to the top. So you just set it up. You can add a board here, add a board. You just choose your board that you want. I don't know. I don't want to add a board quite yet. Let's see. Quick and easy dinner recipes. Working, you can pause it. Multiple pins per day, 1 pin or less per day, 1 pin per 2 days with random start date. So I could do that even because I have that right. I'm scheduled, I have 1,000 pins a month, but I think I have it scheduled for like 932 or something right now. So I could do an every other day kind of thing. Pin at 8 p.m., random delay, oldest to newest, run deduplication, protection for viral, and then just click done. So I added another board there.
That's easy.
Super easy. You just add the board and you're done. And how I chose the boards, I went through and looked at how many followers I had, right? What boards of mine are really popular, and this organization ideas was really popular. It had a lot more than my kind of base following. Oops, my base following, which I could tell what my base following is by just looking at my boards. 2243. Our blogging one has 2336, so that one's gotten a few more actually by looping it. My wine one, 2215. So you can see that when I click on one, that 27, so that one's gotten a lot more followers. So I just went through and found some of my bigger boards, 3630, and chose those to loop because those were the popular ones. And this organization idea one also has 548 pins on it, so it was a big one, and I knew that if I was looping 5 pins a day, then I would still be adding good content to this post or to this board, but not doing not repeating pins very often. Okay. Anything else, guys?
No, it's great. I'm going to play with it. I really do like the scheduling. There's things about, there's different schedulers, right? So like I use Ahology and I use this one for scheduling, and there's things I like about each one of them better than the other. But BoardBooster, from scheduling from Pinterest, I think is the easiest once you get it set up. I like it, and so I'm kind of excited to go set up my looping on a couple boards after we finish this and see what happens.
Yeah. I wanted to also show you one more thing. If I go to report, I need to fix this. If you go to report, then it's going to tell you, okay, it repinned this from looping from which board to which board, and you can see what's getting repinned. And just go through and check, okay, this one got 5 repins. So then I need to look for what's working, right? Are things working, the gluten-free? If the board isn't working and it's not getting repins, then maybe I need to think about adding a different board to my looping. So see some of these. And then also looking at the times, I'm seeing like these ones at the top here were all in the those were in the morning there, and there's no repins. While I'm looking down here, and these were all in the evening and have repins. So maybe I need to just stick with doing things in the evening. Um, so I really like this report. It helps me figure out what I'm doing and if it's working. Did it come back?
Yep, you're back.
So yeah, it's not. I mean, I think he wanted the guy that developed it, Dennis Hashkin, I think. I have sent him an email. I didn't hear back from him, but he lives here in Austin, so I'll track him down. But we will get Dennis. We will talk to Dennis. But his point when he developed it was that he wanted it to be something from Pinterest that he could do. So it really is very easy. You can do it from your phone, right?
Yeah.
With Ahology, you have to get on your desktop and blah, 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 blah. Or Viral Tag, I couldn't do that from my phone, but I can do BoardBooster from my phone.
Yeah. It's really it's an in Pinterest app. I mean, you were showing all that stuff, but you can use it in Pinterest. That's what I appreciate about it the most, I think.
Yeah. So from your phone, super easy. And I think it's totally worth the $10 a month.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I have to sign off, ladies.
Oh, we're losing one. Okay. Well, hopefully that was helpful, and you will check out BoardBooster if you check our page and the blogging bench, or if you're on YouTube watching this, check the description. There's a link to BoardBooster. Yes, that's my affiliate link, and I would totally appreciate it if you would use it. So we will talk with you next week. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.